Hello everybody, I am Danielle from Bubbly Ducky. I am going to be making soap live. I don't do this very often, mostly because being on camera makes me super nervous and I tend to screw things up. So I am going to start this with a disclaimer. I apologize for thumping, muttering, bumping around, getting in front of the camera, forgetting what I'm going to say, forgetting that I'm talking, all of that fun stuff. And hopefully I'll get this done. So I am making today an experimental soap. It is a mismatch of a whole bunch of different techniques in order to try to make a marble soap, which for those of you who saw my previous post, you know what that's going to look like. For those of you who haven't, when I'm all done and I cut it, which is going to be in a couple of days, I will post the picture of the soap along with the picture of the marble so that you know what I'm talking about. And we'll see how close I can get. I really don't know. This is all experiment. So right here I have my oils. I have a mix of different oils. So I have coconut oil, which is very cleansing. It's also very bubbly. I have castor oil, which is a bit bubbly. I have palm oil, which helps make the soap hard, which makes it last longer. I have olive oil and avocado oil, which are great conditioning oils. They have, especially avocado oil has a lot of vitamins in it. And then I have coconut oil, or excuse me, cocoa butter, which we all know feels amazing. And then in this here, I have my lye and aloe solution. So that, you can't make soap without lye. I will say that disclaimer a million times. You cannot make soap without lye, but there's no lye in the finished product. It goes through saponification, lye is gone, oils are there, saponified oils, and then a little bit of unsaponified oils for conditioning. So the lye is gone. The aloe, however, the wonderful aloe vera sticks around. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pour this in here, trying to make as few bubbles as possible. This is very cool for soaping. So soaping, some people do it you can do it at a variety of different temperatures. I am soaping right now at about 84 degrees for my oils and my lye, with the oils being ever so slightly lower than the lye. And that's because I do not want this to get very thick very fast. It's also why I'm not going to do a whole lot of blending. I'm going to do a lot more mixing than I'm doing blending. To keep this nice and thin. Now I am always worried about not blending enough, so I usually blend way too much and things get thick. I'm really trying to avoid that this time. And so, in an effort to avoid that, I'm actually going to switch over to a whisk, which takes longer, but it's much easier to control. And actually, I can see right now, it looks like I'm already just about at trace, which means that the lye and the oils are starting to emulsify. They're starting to, obviously we know that oil and water doesn't mix. Aloe vera is an oil base, or excuse me, a water base, and then the bowl was full of oils, so they don't mix naturally. The lye is what makes that happen. So it makes the oils and the water mix, and it turns the oils into soap. But that takes a little effort, and if you don't get them mixed real good, they separate out again, and then you have a problem because you still have oils and you still have lye, and we don't want either of those things at the end of this. We want mostly soap with just a little bit of extra oils in there for conditioning. Not too much though, because we don't want the soap bar to be too soft. Then it just melts in your shower. Nobody wants to buy soap just to have it melt after the first time they use it. That's no fun. And then for those of you who are completely new to this soap and deal, this will also not be ready for about 6 weeks. So in about a day or two, I'll be able to cut it. So I'm going to make it in a loaf like this, kind of like bread. And then I'm going to slice it, kind of like bread, except for this one's actually going to have a bit of more of a creative cut to it. But it won't be ready for use for about 6 weeks, and that's to allow any extra water to evaporate and let the soap get nice and hard so that it's long lasting. This is looking real good. I'm going to try to keep my face out of this video, but I might pop in. Please excuse my messy bun and general messiness. I am rocking the mom style all the way. All the way. Now, I really should have long sleeves on. Before the saponification happens, lye is a caustic, what's the word I'm looking for? Solution. The lye and aloe is a caustic solution until saponification happens. And saponification does take a couple of days. So it is best to wear long sleeves, long pants, shoes, all that good stuff. It is really warm in this room, so I'm not wearing the long sleeves. And, you know, hopefully I don't regret that. Alright. We're getting there. We're getting there. Soap requires a lot of patience. I don't have patience for anything other than soap. So, I have a plan. We'll see how well that plan works. I am going to have mostly black in this. Yeah, I'm going to start splitting that up. Alright, this is going to be a mostly black soap. There's going to be, actually you can see my colors over here. Urgh. See, I'm already about to make a mess. Alright, so it's going to be a mostly black soap. But I am going to use a little white and gray to kind of make that smoky look in the marble. I am going to use some gold for the veining. And then there's also some really skinny white veining. So I'm going to use some white mica for that. And actually, this is for a soap challenge. So once a month, give or take, there is a challenge, a contest with the Soap Challenge Club. And I have been participating probably since about the beginning of the year and really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. So this is one of those. And typically there's a lot more rules, and this one is just kind of like go for it, but it has to be a natural marble look. So I had to do a bunch of research, make sure that the marble that I picked was actually a natural marble as opposed to some mixture of other rocks. Put a little more in here. And then I had to come up with my own way. They gave some examples. This is a woman named Amy Warden, who makes soap herself, who runs this contest. And they did give she gave some examples for possible techniques, and I'm using some of her example along with just some of my own ideas. And like I said, we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Just eyeballing it here, which is usually not a good plan, right? I do believe that'll be better. Okay. May or may not regret that. We'll find out. So, but I've done mica lines a few times with various designs, and I've always used either just a little teaspoon to kind of sprinkle it on, or a, what am I thinking? A sieve. And she suggested nylons, and I thought, well, man, that is an awesome idea. I definitely want to try that. Okay, so this first one's going to be black, and I want it to be super duper black. So I have two different blacks in here. I have black iron oxide from Nurture Soap and activated charcoal from Brambleberry. Just dump that in there. I really want it all. And micas and charcoal have both been sitting in avocado oil to make them a bit easier to mix in. It's good and dark. In this video, I'm debating how exactly to do this because there's a good chance that at some point I'm going to have to just sit there and let this stuff sit so it thickens up a little bit for me. Because there's a perfect thickness, and right now this is really, really, really thin. So I don't want it too thick, I don't want it too thin. Gotta find that nice happy medium. Actually, let me see if I can beat this a little bit. No. Take that back. I'm gonna wait. Alright. Alright, so I want that nice and black. I want this. I'm going to start with making it white. And this is going to be the foggy sort of look. I'll use this. Sorry, you're probably just getting my shoulder right there. I apologize. Like I said, not a professional on video. Alright. So I'm going to start by making this white, and then I'm going to put a little gray in it, and I'm going to try to make the gray not particularly even. So I apologize. Here's a little bit of beating while I get the air bubbles out of this. We do not want air bubbles. I want this to be nice and smooth like polished marble. Alright. So part of this is to really get that color in. Part of this is to thicken it up just a bit. Not too much, but a little bit. I think that's good. Well, maybe just a little, not too much. We'll see how that works. Oh yeah, that's definitely thicker. I'm scraping this off real good because I want to use this for the black as well. And I want as little white to get in that black as possible until I'm ready to really swirl it in. However, there's a lot of white in here, and I've already gotten a little speck of white into the black. Because I am a messy person as a rule. Just overall, I'm a messy person. But I am really messy when I'm feeling creative. Missed my calling as one of those artists that throw paint at a wall. I think I would thoroughly enjoy that. Alrighty. So I also want to make sure my fragrance oil gets in here, which I have to measure out. Come on, scale. There we go. And this is going to be Honeydew Melon from Nature's Garden, because marble doesn't have a smell, so I can make it whenever I want. And I haven't done this one yet. Alright. Now, I bought the Honeydew Melon with other intentions, and I still plan on doing that. So anybody who knows me, well, not anybody that knows me, the people closest to me, know that I absolutely love the song No Rain by Blind Melon. It is my favorite song. It makes me so happy. If you've never seen the music video, you gotta go see it. No Rain, Blind Melon, 90s alternative. And it's just so happy. This girl's just sticking to being herself, and all she wants to do is tap dance in her little bumblebee outfit, and people are laughing at her and picking on her, but she just sticks to it. She's going to be herself even when she gets sad about it. She is not giving up. And then suddenly she stumbles upon a whole bunch of other bumblebees that are well, not tap dancing, but they're dancing. And it's so happy. She's found her place in the world. It just makes me so happy. So I want to make a melon, blind melon, scented soap with a bumblebee motif. So that'll be happening at some point in the future. Oh, I apologize. Hold on. Ah, that is my alarm to turn off my daughter's reading light in the next room over. So I apologize for the music. Oh, I hope it didn't interrupt. Nope, think I'm still live. Okay. My husband will be turning off her light. If I don't hear something soon, you'll hear me leave the video momentarily and go turn off her light. Tell her to go to bed, kid. However, typically that comes with her telling me several things about whatever she's reading, and I absolutely love it, but also it takes a minute, and I don't have a minute right now, so I'm hoping my husband gets going here. Alright, so I've got the white soap, I got a little bit of gray, I'm adding that in, and I want it to be a little uneven. So I'm not going to mix that up perfectly. Yeah, just a little uneven. So you can see it's kind of swirled there. I'm going to be swirling this more later, so this will get a little more mixed up. But this will work for now. Because marble is just all sorts of variations of color. Alright, set that over here. Oh, it's out of my way. Again, sorry for the views of my shoulder. Alright, I'm going to try to beat this a little bit so it's a little thicker and we don't have to wait. A little bit of air bubbles in there, so I'll have to beat this a little more. I apologize. Not exactly a therapeutic, relaxing late night video when I'm just beating the tar out of glass and metal. But then again, there's not a lot about me that's relaxing and therapeutic, so I guess it fits. Okay. That's looking good. That is looking good. Okay. Now, one thing that I think every soaper shares is the hatred of waste. So you gotta get every little bit out. And at some point I give up, but gotta get as much as I can. Alright, now excuse me while I beat this thing mercilessly, momentarily. Which serves two purposes. It gets out the bubbles, and it gets my husband's attention, so he comes up here and turns out that light. Alright, that should be alright. Nice big bubble there. I'm literally just trying to squish the bubbles that were on the top. Alrighty. Oh, I hear my husband in the kitchen. Excuse me for just a moment. Oh, nope, he got it. Okay. Working at home, this is what you get. Okay, so now I'm just going to swirl this in. That's still a little thin. Oh, no, it's sticking. Okay. Alright, so a lot of that's going to the bottom. I'm going to leave this last little bit for the top, but I'm going to let it thicken up a little bit while I'm working on the gold here. And the gold, I will not be able to, oh, I don't know. Let me see if you can see that. Can you see that? Just the gold mica and the oil is so pretty. The gold, I will obviously not be able to use my big old mixer in this little bitty cup. So, I'll mix that by hand for a minute, and hopefully, in the time that takes, this will thicken up a little bit. I love this thing. Isn't it cute? Just a little bitty whisk, little bitty, from the dollar store, because the dollar store is amazing. Now they have lots of cooking stuff at the dollar store, and I have found that they have off-brand and they have Betty Crocker. And at first I was buying Betty Crocker because I thought, well, obviously she's got to be the best, right? Nope, the off-brand, so much better. Just the straight up Dollar Tree, that's good stuff. All right, so this is Maya Gold from Nurture Soap. I don't think I told you the gray was Pewter Silver from Brambleberry, and then just titanium dioxide for the white, also from Brambleberry, in case any fellow soap people are watching. So, in soaping, you got lots of different swirls that have names on them. So, this right here is an in the pot swirl, which you can kind of figure out why. It is swirled all in the same bowl. And then, so I'm going to be doing a few different things. I have that in the pot swirl there. I'm going to be doing another variation of it in the pot swirl with this, where I kind of stripe it on top. And then I'm going to have a pierced mica line in the middle. And then the fun part is, typically I take this thing, I fill it up, and I slice it just like that, about 10 bars. I usually fill it all the way to the top. Sometimes I even pipe on top, make them real big. This one's going to be a little different. I'm only going to fill it maybe about 2/3 of the way, and then I'm going to cut it into 3 real big bars, and I'm going to cut them this way to make the front. So, so it's only going to be 6 bars. This is going to be a very, very small release. It's, yeah, if you want one, just get it quick. There's only a few. But it's going to be, they're going to be a different shape. They're still going to be very big bars, though. They might not look it as much because they won't be as wide. They'll be more thick. But that's so that we can see the design. The design's going to be different when you cut it this way than when you cut it this way, and I think it'll look better on that way. Horizontally versus vertically, if you want to be, if you want to sound like you know what you're talking about. Alright, this is thickening up a little. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go, right on top. Always got to scrape it out. You do not want waste. Why have waste when you could have soap? So this is the beginning. Let me see if I can get you to see it. There you go. That's the beginnings of my marbling. Just black and white right there. All right. Now this is the part where I always make a big mess. I have to pour this into these so that I can pour them into there. And I'm on camera, which means I am 100% going to make a big old mess. I'm just gonna get ready for it. Also gonna wipe up a little bit of fragrance oil that got on the table here. Alrighty. Hate this part. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I might not even need the second one. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. I think I might even wind up going back and forth between these. This is a bit more white than this one does. So when I'm pouring, I might just go back and forth. Now I'm going to get all up in the shot so I can scrape this out real good. I have no idea what you guys can see and what you can't, so yeah, sorry. I apologize if all you see is my shoulder. Here, actually, let me move this over. I can move these things. They are not attached to the table. That reminder is for me, not for you guys. So this is on my super professional equipment, and by that I mean my telephone, my cell phone. So I'm really hoping you guys can understand anything I'm saying. I know I've done this a couple of times before with my old cell phone, and I sound like I'm muttering to myself most of the time, which honestly I do that, so maybe it's just habit. Alrighty, so now I have my 2 in the pot swirls. And this is the point where I start getting nervous and wondering if I'm forgetting anything, but I don't think I am. I think I'm doing good. Other than the mess you start to see piling up here, because I'm good at that. I'm going to mix this up a little more, try to thicken it up. Because what I want is for this to sit right on top. So I'm going to try to pour a stripe that sits right on top here, so that it becomes that veining when I'm pouring into here. But if it's too thin, it won't sit on top. It'll pierce right through, and that will not accomplish my goal. So I'm just stirring the mess out of it now. It's actually going a lot faster than I expected. Feeling pretty good about that. So nowadays, when people make soap, typically we all use the big immersion blender that I was just using. But soap's been made for many centuries. Possibly thousands of years. I really don't know. Definitely centuries. And it was definitely made just stirring long before immersion blenders were a thing. So it definitely can be done like this. It just takes a heck of a lot longer. And it makes my poor little wrist weak because I've got no muscles. I've got spaghetti arms. Alright. Not a lot thicker, but hopefully thick enough to make a difference. I'm going to try to make a little spout here. Hopefully without breaking my cup. There we go. Alright. Get this as close as I can. There we go. Nice little stripe there. Okay. Now I do want this to thicken up a little bit. Alright, so it's not very warm, so it's going to take a few minutes to thicken up. Trying to think of stories to regale you with while I sit here and watch soap, which is like watching water boil, but so much longer. But I don't have any, so let's see here. You know what, if I let it thicken up too much, then I'm not going to be able to pierce it with the mica line. Let's pour a little and see how it looks. Probably going to regret that, but I'll try it. Ooh, I like it. I actually really like that. Okay, that was unexpectedly awesome. Let me see if I can, I don't know if I can get this in the camera. Can you probably can't see that, and I can't tilt it for the camera. I hope you can see that a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom in. Can I do that? Oh, I can. Whew. My super skills here. There you go. Can you see that? It's like the foggy black with the gold veining in the middle. Oh, I'm super excited about this. Okay. Zoom back out a little bit. I guess I could. All right. Okay, so I am trying to make this, like I said, little gold veins. So I'm going to try to make little stripes like that and see how it goes. Now, I'm kind of having to layer the stripes too. So, like I said, this is a big experiment. Really, every single time I make soap is a little bit of an experiment. But usually I can at least say somebody else has done it first. And so my experiment is seeing whether or not I can do it. This one is completely new. I've never seen somebody mix all of the techniques that I'm doing. A few, but not all. I think I have one more than I've seen before. So this is truly an experiment, full on experiment. Let me see if you look at the spout, you'll see that the gold just continues up the spout in the middle while the black goes around it. And that's what's getting the effect that I'm looking for. Alright, let's see if I can wiggle it a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. Gloved fingers are good for protection. They're also good for cleaning up the spout. I'm going to pour a little of this in here because I want to make sure that it does get it. I don't want to accidentally use up all my gold and not have any left for that one. A little more. I'm a little more sort of person in every part of my life. When I'm eating brownies, a little more. When I'm making a cake, putting in sugar, a little more. So soap is no different. Sometimes I wind up regretting it. Sometimes it turns out really cool. Will I tell you which ones I've regretted and which ones I haven't? Nah. As long as you like it, that's okay. So my goal is to get about 2/3 of the way up and then do that mica line. But considering doing it a little bit earlier and doing 2 of them instead. That way there's a better design on the bottom as well. I think I'm going to do that. Alright, so I got my winter white mica here from Nurture Soap. I'm just going to shake it like a salt shaker. Saying that makes me happy. I want to get a nice fine layer here. Got a mica cloud. Alright, so pros and cons of using the nylon. Got a bit of a cloud going here. Also, it's a little harder to get into the sides. That's quite the cloud. Do you see that fog coming up? Oh my gosh. Alright. This seemed like a nifty idea, but I think I might go back to my sieve. Try to clean this up a little bit so I don't have weird marks all over the sides. Got my rubbing alcohol. Good multi-purpose chemical there. Not cleaning chemical, just straight up rubbing alcohol. Don't want anybody getting confused there. I am not spraying 409 into the soap, just rubbing alcohol, which is very, very useful. It is a necessity for soaping. It actually helps with a few different things in soaping. Cleanup is just one of them. Alright, let me see if I can find my sieve. Here we go. Directly under the camera, of course. Black shirt I'm wearing is about to be very gray. Alright, put that over there for now. Again, I am a messy person. Apologies if you were expecting a soothing before bed, super clean, fun design sort of video. It's also not the best mica for mica lines because it is so fine. It's like powdered sugar, but just a little thicker, I guess. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. And this is one of those things that doesn't have to be perfect. It just needed to be better than what I was getting. One of the fun things about soap is that because it's a fluid medium, at least when I'm making it, obviously it winds up being hard, but while I'm using it, it's fluid. It's kind of like doing an acrylic pour in that you kind of have an idea of where you're going with it, but you don't really know where you're going to end up. So when I cut into it, it's a surprise for me just as much as anybody else. Now there are sometimes, there are people that are very, very, very specific with how they want their soap to wind up, and they'll do things like scrape chunks out of it to make neat designs, and I might do that at some point, but I really kind of like the surprise. I really kind of hate when I say that. I really like the actually I'll save that for a little later. I really like that it kind of does what it wants to do, and I like not forcing it totally to do what I want to do, to some extent obviously, but not too much. All right. Oh, I apologize. My cat wants in the room, and he is not allowed in this room. But it's getting to the point of the night where he gets super snuggly. Okay, can you see this? Let's make sure it's in the shot. There we go. And I'm just cutting right through that mica. just kind of going all over the place with this. And I'm going to be honest, the mica is not breaking quite the way I was expecting, and I think it's because the soap is so thin. So if I do another one of these, which I might, if I don't like how this turns out, I might do another one. I might mix up the colors before going live and then just do the swirl live. But that way I don't have to worry about you guys waiting for this to get thicker, because I don't want you guys to have to do that. But by the same token, it might be needed. I don't want to neglect doing what needs to be done just to speed things along. Alright, gonna do another little bit of this. Go away, Dizzy. That particular cat is named Disaster. I have 3 cats. They are not allowed in my soap area at all. Despite how hard they whine and cry and make me feel bad. That particular one, his full name is Disaster. We call him Dizzy. But goodness sakes, he lives up to his name. There we go. It's starting to thicken up. Let's see. Actually, this one's starting to look... Do I want to do that? I do want to do that. Alright, let me see if I can get some lines out of this one here. Oh yeah. So I really would like at least one real solid gold stripe. I wonder if maybe I need to be more direct with that. Let's see. I don't have a lot of gold left, but I think I need just a straight up gold stripe in here. Nice and bold. And if I do this again, I might do a little more gold. And I might lock my cat in the basement while I'm live on Facebook. Learn, live and learn. I'm just kind of going all over the place with this. You know what? I think, all right, I got that white mica in there. I'm going to try a little gold and see how that goes. This one's a little thicker. I wonder if that would work with the nylon. I don't know that I want to try it. Let's see. Where did I put my white mica? There it is. Isn't that pretty? Let me see if I can get it close. That corner. Okay. Oh, my lighting's not good in here, so you can't see it, but it shimmers like crazy. Now, if anybody is a soaper on here and you decide to mimic any of this and maybe do it better than I did, please tag me in it so I can see. I would be very interested in that. I figure going live, especially when there's a contest involved, there's a possibility, you know, when you're sharing ideas, people are going to pick up this and that. And that's okay. Like, there's a lot of collaboration in the soaping community, which I think is really neat. Even with the contest, there's a lot of people helping each other. But if you do use mine or my, you know, my thought process at all, I'd really like to see it. Because maybe yours looks a heck of a lot better than mine. And maybe I can learn something from it, just like you learned something from me, and we can share and everybody's happy and joyful and kumbaya and all that good stuff. Alright, last little bit here. Gotta pierce through that gold real good. Oh, now it's like the perfect thickness too. Actually, I want a little more weight to this. I want it to pierce better, and it pierces better when I pour stronger, more, when I'm not sitting there drizzling it. So I'm going to combine forces here, because I think that'll give me a better effect. Okay. That really could be scraped out a whole lot better. Shameful, really. Just absolutely shameful. There we go, yeah. That definitely makes a difference. Oh, this is going to be gorgeous. And it smells really good. It just smells just like honeydew melon. And I don't know if you've heard, I hope you haven't. My tummy is grumbling now. I don't have any melon here, but I'm going to get some fruit of some sort. So we are just about done. So all I'm going to do now, I am going to spritz this with alcohol. I'm going to pop it in my oven because that helps me to be able to unmold it faster, and I am an impatient person. I want to unmold it faster. I'm going to slam it on the table a few times, but you know what? We're so close to the end of this. I'm going to wait till you guys aren't having to hear that. And then I'm going to have to just let it sit until today, possibly tomorrow. I added a little Dead Sea salt, and that Dead Sea salt, on top of just kind of being a nifty thing to have in the soap, it helps it to solidify faster. So hopefully by tomorrow night I can cut this, and I plan to do that live as well. So, you know, Friday night plans, guys. Watch soap get cut. Sounds good? Heck yeah. But if that doesn't work, it'll be Saturday night instead. Ooh, good grief, that's messy. Alright, well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go spritz, I'm going to clean up, and I will see you guys either tomorrow night or the night after, depending on how long this takes, with the unveiling of the design beneath. Thank you guys so much for joining me again. I am Danielle with Bubbly Ducky. Ooh, I got my little sign here. Bubbly Ducky. At bubblyducky.com. So I have all sorts of good stuff. Feel free to check it out. I'll see you soon. Bye.